name is Lisa Dublin. I am a health and life coach, and I help you to be able to speak, to lead, and to live with confidence. Because you know what? If you can do those things, that means both your professional and your personal life kind of line up. And why should you not win in life? So I'm going live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube as well, and I think even Twitter this morning. You can join me after. I'll be live on Instagram, going organically there live directly to Instagram. So you can join me at Lisa M. Dublin is my handle on Instagram. Join me after this 15 minutes here where we continue the conversation, for that audience over there. How's everybody doing? How was the weekend? I hope you had a great weekend. My cousin got married on the weekend. Oh my goodness, she was such a princess. Oh my goodness. She's always loved princesses, and that is exactly what the day was. The dress, the everything was just, it was just a beautiful occasion. So I hope your weekend was as great as mine. And now we're back to the grind. Yeah, we're in the land of the living. I hope your thoughts this morning are positive. I hope you're in great, good energy to go forward today and to accomplish the things that you set about to do. I want to talk about identity today. And even before we do that, one of the things that we do in the club, the To All the Girls Success Club, is that we tell our minds and our day where to go by declaring certain things, affirming certain things. So if there's anybody out there, hope you're listening and hope you are, you can join me with confessions. I am blessed and highly favored, above only and not beneath, the head and not the tail. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I shall lend and not borrow, and I have nothing missing, nothing broken. What happens when you say these things over and over again with a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, a lot of belief? What happens is if you are not those things, but you keep on saying them and believing them and, you know, giving them the permission to act out in your life, what happens after a while is that you find because your focus is going there and you focusing on what you want to be by saying those affirmations, why is it that after a while you see that your whole life and reality begins to shift towards what you have been saying? People, it doesn't work, except that it does. Except that if you're saying it doesn't work, you just simply need to check what you have been saying. And how is that working for you? I've been doing a lot of work with clients on identity. I think that's a lot of what coaching is about, helping clients to come to a different understanding, one that serves them, whatever that understanding is of who they are. And it reminded me of a book that I pulled out recently to go through again. This one is Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. That's his name. The book is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And what I love about that book in talking about identity, what is your identity? What do you believe about yourself? Hey, Marcelina, good morning to you. Good morning. How are you doing? What I love about that book is that it gives a lovely analogy of what happens when you are getting the same results over and over again. I hear a lot of people saying that. That used to be me. I just simply attract the same kind of man. Has that ever happened to anybody? Like, what is it about me? It seems to attract that kind of person. It also works in friendships. Or it could be, you know how they say that people who win the lotto, most of them revert to their initial or their former state of being, their former state of finances after some time. It's because the identity has not changed to match, the new windfall. And so the identity is like your thermostat. It's like your baseline. It's like your threshold. And I'm going to now not even try to explain it further. Let us read a little bit from. It's not very long. Stick with me because this will make sense. I'll try to explain it a little bit in the little time that we have together this morning. So this author in The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, that's the name of the book, and the author is T. Harv Eker. I hope I'm saying his name right. This is what he says. He says basically that obviously everything in the physical world is determined by other forces. And he talks about four quadrants being the physical world, the mental world, the emotional world, and the spiritual world. Okay? Stick with me. What most people never realize, he says, is that the physical realm is merely a printout. You guys, imagine you printing something from your printer, which comes from your computer or from your phone or whatever. It comes from another source. So this guy is saying what most people never realize is that the physical realm is merely a printout of the other three realms, being the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. For example, let's suppose you have just written a letter on your computer. You hit the print key and the letter comes out of your printer. You look at your hard copy and lo and behold, you find a typo. So you take out your trusty eraser and you rub out the typo. And then you hit print again, and out again comes the same typo. How could this be? You just erased it. So this time you get a bigger eraser and you rub even harder and longer. You even study a 300-page manual called Effective Erasing. Now you've got all the tools and knowledge you need, and so you're ready. And you hit the print button, and there it is again. The same typo. No way, you cry out, stunned in amazement. How could it be? What's going on here? Am I in the twilight zone? What's going on here, the author says, is that the real problem cannot be changed in the printout. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is awesome. The real problem cannot be changed in the printout, the physical world. It can only be changed in the program, the mental, emotional, and spiritual worlds. So he goes on to say that wealth, and he's talking about wealth in this regard, that it is a product of the thoughts, a product of your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual makeup that produces a certain result. You guys, I want to take that analogy and apply it to the whole of life and apply it to your whole identity. Who are you? When I was thinking about this topic, I know not many, we don't often take the time to think about who we are. We don't often take the time to kind of mull on these topics. I know I used to do it like way back in the day. I remember walking through university. No wonder I was just such a mess at university. Oh my goodness. I would be walking around the place and be like, I just want to know how to be. I just want to know. I'll never forget meeting a friend. She's like, "What is wrong with you?" Like, my face was all, I just looked so sad and whatever. And I remember saying to her, I just want to know how to be. So, in other words, I've been on this personal development journey, no matter how traumatic, for a while. But it doesn't have to be that traumatic. If you've never thought of the topic, um, who am I? I want to encourage you this morning to just look at your results. That is always an indicator of what is going on in the mental, spiritual, and emotional planes. What the physical results are in your relationships, in your finances, in your career. It tells you what you're thinking about yourself and your circumstances. So let's go. Let's start with the positive this morning. It's bright and early Monday, and we don't want to depress anybody. I'd like you to look at the areas in your life where you have had a lot of success. Where have you had a lot of success? Has it been in education, in your career? Have you been happily married or happily in a relationship? Do you have great friends, for example? Let's start there. Let's start with the positive first and see, if we can figure out, hey, Alex, how you doing? Good morning to you. Thanks for joining in the club. You guys say hi if you are here, wherever you are watching from. Say hi. Hey, Nefert, how are you? Good morning to you, Leonie. Good morning. Where have you had great results? So, for example, I have a friend who has always been an entrepreneur. She's always been a teacher. There has always, however, been that bent that I can make money. I have something to offer the world. I am enterprising. And so, even if one business fails, you find her quickly being able to get another business going because the identity is that of being an entrepreneur. So, an entrepreneur starts businesses. That's what they do. Look at your results and they will tell you, they will give you an idea of what you think about yourself. I'm talking about the positive right now because I know, like, when we get even into the negative, we'll tend to say stuff like, oh, it's not my fault. And in some cases, it's true. It's also true, however, that you are more likely to attract what you believe, good or bad. So, what have you attracted? What have you accomplished? So, this is very corny, but I think in my mind, literally, oh my God, why am I even saying this? I think in my mind, literally, I am a few things. I think in my mind, I really subscribe to what Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. I do see the world as a stage. And if you realize what I'm outputting, it is always that kind of flair, that kind of performance, not performance in a bad way in terms of pretending. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the nature, the dramatic, the extra. Even doing this, like 4 in the morning, talking to people, like who cares? But here I am. So when I was thinking about this question and even examining my own self, I was like, hey, Lisa, you've always thought that. You've always thought of life like a performance, something to rise to the occasion about. Today, can you just look at what your identity might be in terms of, if you're not sure, look at your results. Look at what you're thinking about money. Look at what you're thinking about business, about relationships. Are you the person who's like, all men are dogs, for example? That's, I hear that so, like, no, not all men. No, not at all. I don't believe that. I don't believe all of us women are female dog. No, I don't even. No, it's just not a belief of mine. What are you believing about the opposite sex? And is that what you're getting? What are you believing about friendships? Is that what you're producing in your life? What are you believing about your abilities? And how is that playing out? I had this awesome session some time ago with a client, and we realized that the reason she was not being consistent as an entrepreneur was because she didn't believe that her product could help people. Like, if like, I so believe in coaching. You guys are going to help me talking about coaching for the rest of my life. You know why? I so believe it. Oh my goodness. It's almost like when you believe something so deeply, that's all you want to talk about and that's what you want to do. But for her, especially not getting results in the first instance, she was always like, I don't believe this. And because she didn't think that it was powerful and effective, the products that she was offering, and or services rather, then the posting was spotty, and because it wasn't fueled by belief, it wasn't fueled by this is great and this is good. So let's examine that this morning. We know it's a very short live. I'm done. Like, that's it. We're talking about what is your identity. Just take some time this week to kind of think about what results have you produced. If you're not sure about what you believe, or sometimes what I've found is people say that they believe one thing about themselves, but the results show something different. When you go back and you look at those results and you're like, what kind of feeling and thoughts could produce such a result? Then you get to what they exactly believe about themselves and about the world. So, where are you this morning? In every area of your life, your results are going to tell you something about what you believe. That's it. I'm like, there's no other way to say it. This guy said it. What's happening in the physical realm, it's simply a printout. And if you want to change something about yourself, we'll talk about that perhaps tomorrow. Not tomorrow, sorry, on Wednesday. If you want to change something about yourself, you have to go back into that mainframe. you have to change it up here first. Once you start to change it up here, then you're going to start to print out different results in life. You're going to start to attract different people. You're going to start to be doing things differently because the belief up here is different. So I hope this helped you. Reach out to me. Tell me what you think about all of this. What would you like to hear about? If you're wanting to have a free consultation, then you can go to my website, lisamdublin.com, and you can sign up for a free consult. I'm a health and life coach, and I help people to win. So have a great day, everybody, and I shall see you on Wednesday, same place, same time. If you have time, just join me on IG. It's a different crowd there, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's different. So I'm going to talk about just a couple more things on IG for the next 15 minutes, hoping to catch you over there.